Good afternoon, everybody. So this is our weekly update number 83. And today we've got a lot going on for you. It's the first day on a Wednesday. So let's see how many people actually tune in today because we've moved the day. It might take a while to kick in this move. But we've got today no visa updates because I haven't had any in, but we have got some information about renewals in Malaga. We've also got a really big update about an Airbnb scam that's happened to one of our followers, our YouTube comments, our Jane Says, and some charity information as well on how we're going to be supporting a really good cause over in Alicante. So stick around. This is our weekly update number 83. Right, so we're not doing too bad. That's 11 people on. Drop me a comment in the chat if you're on and you've worked out that we've changed the day. I'm a bit lost with it all as well because you get into a rhythm, don't you, doing these things, and I had to change the day really, to be honest with you, for personal reasons, with the kids and stuff. But it worked out better today. But today is my call day, so the day is the day that I speak to people on a Wednesday. It's when I speak to people who do the book calls. We only do it once a week, and it's sort of quite a hectic day with notes everywhere and stuff. But it also means you come off the back of the call day quite excited because you're talking to people who are just going to be moving over in the future. So hopefully that energy prevails through YouTube. And let's have a quick look on the chat then. Let's see. You've got 14 people on, so that's not bad considering we've changed the day. Alexander, hey, how you doing? Nick is on. How you doing? Paul's on as well. I liked your comment. I think it was one of your YouTube comments that I just picked up actually quickly. Yep, still waiting, I'm afraid. Yeah, we've had no visas out. I've sort of come to this conclusion now that Manchester, the way they seem to come out is I think they just like deal with them once every fortnight or maybe once a month or something. It seems to be no rhyme or reason. You don't hear anything for ages and suddenly, boom. Like last week, a load come through. So it's like they've just, let's deal with this pile today. And then nothing happens for a couple of weeks. So it's strange. We generally, with Manchester, we seem to get them in fits and starts, whereas London and Edinburgh seem to trickle in, which is, strange. But maybe that's it. Maybe they just deal with them once every couple of weeks. They pick up the NLV files. We know they do a lot of other stuff as well. So let's see. Who else have we got on? Hola from Stephen, Pauline from Rainy, Robin Hood Country, Nottinghamshire. Hasty. I had a note that we're speaking tomorrow. I was actually just looking at tomorrow's calendar. So it looks like we're going to have a catch up tomorrow. So that's great. Sorry, it's raining. Hey guys, how you doing? Good to see you on. Hey, thanks for tuning in. That's great. So anyway, so what have we got for you today then? Let's have a look at the what have we got going on. So first of all, we haven't had any visas or renewals drop in since our last show. It's only been 3 business days though, I suppose. So next week when we have the show on a Wednesday, maybe there'll be some more coming through. And there is one thing that we had. I didn't have it prepared on my little notepad here, but one thing I wanted to warn people who are moving to Malaga or are doing renewals in Malaga. There's something now. We've only seen it on 2 occasions, but it's a bit strange because we are getting requests now for further proof that people have been here for more than 183 days in Spain, even though their passports correspond with the stamps. That's the second time it's happened in Malaga, and they ask for anything which is legally admissible, which really helps, doesn't it? So basically medical certificates, bank accounts, which shows the movements of people actually spending money in Spain. We've got 2 approvals through off the documents that we submitted, but it's very strange in Malaga that they're actually asking for these documents, which even though the passports stamps correspond with them being here. So if you are in Malaga, it might be an idea to make sure that, as we always say, keep all your documents in a digital file on your computer, or on your phone, or wherever. Like bank account statements. If you've got any medical appointments during the year, always keep everything. You never know what's going to come in handy, and make sure everything that's actually got your name on it. And if you go anywhere and buy anything, always ask for a factura. Get a factura, so you get official factura, which is an official invoice. Even if you buy a washing machine in your name, all you have to do is give them your NIE number, your name, your address. They'll give you an official invoice, and that proves essentially that you were there. Let's just jump back on the chat, because I've just seen something here. What happened, Paul? What's going on? Tell me what's going on. Sorry to hear that. Hey, Tony, good to see you on there. Gersinator. At the Cala. Oh, Tony's at the Cala. Tony's at the Cala Golf. So good to see. How you doing up there, Tony? Did I see a fire up there earlier on Facebook, or did I make that up? I have seen one recently, I think. And Simon, first time here, to be in touch soon as we're going to be applying for the NIV next year and using your help. Cheers, Simon. And Angie in Edinburgh going to Murcia. Toledo. So yeah, it'd be great to see you, Simon. Book a call in. Let's have a chat. Earlier the better. No problem booking a call in early. They're only in October now anyway. And sorry about the noise. That was Guillermo, who is just joined the team. He's coming on board now. He's working in the afternoons, doing application forms, printing, and a lot of the admin stuff as well. So I didn't get a chance to introduce him, but I will do next time. But he's going to be here for the lives because he works afternoons. So there you go. Right then. So we spoke about the renewals, didn't we? Let's get on to a lovely review. Here we go. Patricia, who's on their way over. Wow, amazing service from Chris. Oh, hang on a minute. It's loading. Don't know if you can see that yet, guys. Rubbish internet today. Oh, here we go. It's crashed. Rubbish internet. I don't know what's going on with the internet. I'll read it out if not. Let's try again, shall we? Wow, amazing service from Chris. Oh, I don't know if you can see that. Anyway, let me know if you can see it. Amazing service from Chris and his team. What a journey. Finally got our visas and we couldn't have done it without you. And now we're on our way. We're ready for stage 2. Chris has been there every step and answered all the emails promptly and talked us through things we didn't understand. If we could give you 10 stars, we would. Adios, UK. Can't wait to start a new life in Spain. Thank you very much, guys. And yeah, answering emails promptly. Well, I've got a few there from Monday still I've got to answer because the beginning of September. Oh, word. Blimey, it all comes. It happens every year though. Everybody you speak to works with paperwork, but I think I'm within my 2 business days for most emails anyway. So if you have sent me an email and I haven't answered it yesterday or today, I will get to it as soon as possible. Jeanette, here we go. I love this photo because Jeanette came right in the middle of the whole Almeria crisis with the appointments, but finally she got her appointment and she had a TIE card registered, and there she is outside the Almeria police station celebrating. I think by the time she's got her card, because of the appointment situation in Almeria, which we're now booking for in November, would you believe it? She'll soon be coming up for renewal. But anyway, that's a lovely photo and congratulations to you. And I've put that photo in our little montage that we're doing for the end of the year. That said, guys, I meant to remind you about that. Oh, happy. We've got 24 people on, so everybody's seen the Wednesday notification. If you guys have got photos and you want to, we're going to do an end of year montage. All these photos that I've been showing, I've been collecting them up. So if you guys have got any photos of yourselves getting your residency or coming over or moving over to Spain or want to be featured in the montage, drop an email to YouTube at upsticks.es and we'll stick your photos in the montage. Is it what it's called? Montaje, they call it in Spanish. And Malcolm and Lisa, here we go. I want to show you this photo of Malcolm and Lisa. Sent us this across. They had their little, see the fan. They love the fans. The fans are becoming more popular. For those of you who might be new to the channel or haven't got a fan, if you'd like a fan, drop your address to YouTube at upsticks.es. There was a couple of fans in the outbox for the post, which have just gone out now with Guillermo. It's one of his afternoon jobs. And so if you're still waiting for a fan and it's in the UK, it's been posted out today. And if you want a fan, drop us your address. And congratulations, guys, on getting your visa finally registered, and we'll be there for you for the renewal as well. And I'm going to send you a cap, but you got to give me your Spanish address for a cap, because we got to give you a Spanish address. I can't send caps to the UK. I'd like to send caps to the UK, but I can't, because then you'd get charged tax at the other end. So there you go. Well done, Malcolm and Linda. Hopefully you're watching, or you'll see this on playback. And yeah, fires go quite often. Not so many now. It's cooler. Yeah, you have a lot over that way, don't you? Unfortunately, we've been very lucky this year. Not a lot of fires. And I think the police have really been cracking down on the arsonists, what I've seen on the news as well. And I've just seen something exciting here. What's going on? Ricky, hi Chris, received a text saying passports ready for dispatch. Wow, brilliant. I'm glad you said that, because we haven't had any visas this week, so hopefully should see them soon. Cheers for your help, Ricky and Karen, Edinburgh to Murcia. Fantastic. Yay. Good. Send it across to me, and I want to see a photo of you celebrating so we can put it on here next week and add it to our montage. Okay, then. So that's our visa and residency section. What we're going to do next? I'm a bit out of sorts today, really. I've got to get used to this Wednesday. Let's go to here and let's do. Jane says she's not here with me today because I've changed to a Wednesday. But Jane has wanted me to explain today the confusion between this whole 6-month thing, then the 4-year renewal thing for visas, then there's the 10 months, then there's the 2 months out. And what does it all mean? Because I think I should do a separate video about it. But just to explain some of the timescales with the residencies through the NLV when you get here. So when you get here with an NLV, you'll get a residency card. That residency card will have a start date on it, the day that card starts, and that's the start of your natural year of residency. So forget fiscal years, January to December. That's when your residency starts. Now, you cannot be out of Spain for longer than 183 days. You know, you're never going to do 183 days anyway out. I'd always say minimum 184, 85 out of the country. So you've got to be more than 184, 5 days in the country for each natural year that you're a resident to be able to get your renewals. So first year is obviously only 1 year, but when you come to renew, you'll then be given a renewal date for 2 years, and you've got to look at your natural years from the date of the renewal and make sure during those 2 years you're never out of Spain for more than 183 days to renew your card. But, and there's a huge but, albeit that to be able to renew your temporary residency, you can be out of Spain up to and almost 6 months. Okay, don't forget that you can never be over 6 months. So by default, at some point, you will become a fiscal resident here at Spain, either the first or maybe the start of the second year, right? If you intend to go for permanent residency at the end of the 5 years, there's a different, more stricter, that's bad English, isn't it? A different, stricter requirement if you're going for long-term residency, the larga duración. Because if you're going for larga duración, you're only allowed out for 10 months over the period of the whole 5 years of your temporary residency. And that 10 months averages to 2 months a year. So to be able to get your renewals and to get to that 5-year point, it's only a requirement that you have to be in for more than 6 months. But when you get to the end of those 6 months, if you've been out of the country for more than 10 months, they won't give you permanent residency, which leaves you in limbo. It leaves you either trying to get a different residency permit, or it means that you may even have to leave, establish your residence outside of Spain again, and apply again to start again. Now, at the end of that temporary period, it's 10 months or more that will stop you from getting permanent residency, or if you've been in Spain if you haven't been out of Spain for more than 10 months, and you'll be granted permanent residency. Now, those 10 months can be divided how you like, as long as they never go over 6 months. So you could do 3 months in your first year, stay for 2 years, then a further 2 months and a month and a half, so you don't go over the 10. But what we like to tell people is it averages to 2 months a year. So we have a lot of people who don't really want to spend the hot summers in Spain and want to leave. And we say, well, don't try not to leave for more than 2 months or 7 weeks, to give yourself that little bit of flexibility a year. So at the end of the 5-year period, you haven't been out for more than 10 months. So I hope that's cleared it up and you're not as more confused as you were when I started talking about it. But yes, so that is it. Permanent residency in Spain. You can't have been outside of Spain for more than 10 months during those 5 years, albeit you are permitted up to 6 months for every natural year that you are resident here. So let's carry on with the next section. YouTube, and we had some great YouTube comments. Now we might have a problem soon. You guys might have a problem with YouTube because it's coming up to that time of year where my birthday is very, very soon. And last year I thought, well, we're going to make an investment for my birthday. We're going to get a 360 camera. To which 2 weeks later, I fell over, broke my arm and couldn't use it for 3 months, but never mind. Okay, so that's sort of going okay, the 360 camera. I kind of know how to use it. I've been using it for the shorts and my time off, and I've been taking it out and about, but didn't really, I don't know. It's a camera that's very, very specific to doing specific types of videos, probably more sports type videos, a bit more funky, and not really for our sort of demographic of clients. Now, I've also tried, I did years ago, try and buy one of those gimbal things for your phone. But then when you're walking down the road, because I thought, oh, whenever I see something that I think might be interesting for people moving over in our day-to-day life, I'd like to record it, put it on the channel. But I don't really do it because if you hold your phone, it looks naff. My phone is quite naff, to be fair. When you've got the big gimbal setup, you're a little bit self-conscious. You do look a bit silly walking through the middle. I do, and me, I look like a tourist, when I've got the gimbal like that. I must do, because everybody tries and sells me everything everywhere I go. I definitely look like a tourist, albeit I've been in Spain for 25 years. I'm always the target, and I'm a bit of a mug for a bargain as well. So yeah. But this time round, for this birthday, we've got one of these. Check it out. Gimbal camera. So when I work out how to use this properly, we might have a lot of out and about videos of me waffling on even more than I do on the weekly updates. So be prepared, guys. I've seen a lot of the channels which have got some fantastic channels of people walking along, just talking about their daily lives, like Scottish couple in Spain, for example, has a fantastic channel, 15,000 followers. Sean does it, Expat in Mazarron. Spain Speaks. They're fantastic. Stuart, some of his stuff is great, and I'm thinking I need to get some of that action, really, the out and about action, see if we can give the channel a bit of a boost. So as soon as I work out this thing here, I've used it for a few shorts. You might have noticed the quality of the videos is slightly better on the shorts, but apart from that, not too sure how to use it yet. So that's this weekend's mission. So talking about the shorts, I've been doing one a day, apart from weekends, to try and boost the channel numbers to get us to that 5,000 subs. And I did one about Amazon, and I think I'm going to write an article about that because we got a fantastic response. But I also got this from, and the question was, does Amazon work for you? And Stu and Joanne and Waffles sent me this through actually via email. I said, hi, Chris, hope you're having a good weekend. Just reference, oh, it didn't load again. Enough internet today. Just reference, oh, can you see that? Here we go. Just reference your shorts and deliveries. We have found Amazon works really well for us, even though we're based in the Campo on the urbanization and not in a town center. Not using Prime, but deliveries have been quick and on the day that they said they've stated. We were a bit nervous about using Amazon at first, but ourselves and our neighbors who use Amazon have found it reliable. There's a large Amazon warehouse in Covera, so that may be the factor. Yeah, great. So everybody seems to have a positive experience with Amazon at the moment. Let's carry on with some more comments that we've got. I've just randomly screenshotted the comments and loads and loads of feedback on our shorts, which I'm really happy with at the moment. I did a short regarding the 3 bits of advice, which, oh dear, technology. My photos aren't loading today, I'm afraid. Here we go. That's better. 3 bits of advice short that we had regarding getting an email address specific to your application. You move to Spain, getting a printer and learning how to scan, and having an online platform to store your documents. So Lee said, this is brilliant advice. We've got some more information coming up from Lee later on, by the way. This is brilliant advice about online storage and also email addresses. If you never used online storage, don't worry, it's not complicated. I like Google Drive as I feel this is quite user friendly. There's some great tutorials on YouTube. If you're new to online storage, make sure you watch one that's not too old, as these things keep being updated. Great advice there, Lee. Thank you very much for that. And yes, I have to agree with Lee on that. Google, I switched very early days, about 6 years ago, in the early days of the brand Upsticks, to Google Business, and I found it idiot proof, to be honest with you, because I'm not that I am techish savvy, but I found it so intuitive that I find that Google Drive is also a very good platform to use. Google do not sponsor this show. I wish they did. So more comments here. We have New Day Wednesday. This was our short I've just done. Looking forward to it. Patrick literally published that half an hour ago. I did a short about houses in Spain, how they were 25 years ago, and the ones that they're building over the road from the office, which are awful, to be honest with you. They look like big robot heads. And Jamie, there's my mate there. I love a mix of the two, upgrading the older ones to white and have the contrast of black would be good. That's true. Yeah, giving those a good paint might be good. They look slightly dated, so maybe they needed updated. But I don't like the new square ones, but then the other ones could do with being updated. That's true. Check the short out on our channel. And then I did a short, does takeaway food work for you in Spain? And Linda said, no, I've not ordered takeaway so far, but plenty of food deliveries being made in our village. Yeah, a lot of local places offer deliveries. It's not just the apps. And 3 essential tips that we said before. It's not loading today. I'm just going to read them out anyway. Oh dear, maybe Wednesdays wasn't a good idea. Lived in Tenerife for 20 years and now you still can't have enough paperwork. Yeah, I agree. Just started the kids' school work and paperwork. A lot of it's done online now, digital signature. There's always paperwork to do. YouTooSpain. Scat says, we never tried to have a delivery. I know that some of the restaurants deliver, but it's only at certain times. I think you have to order in advance. There's only one takeaway in the village and I don't like their food very much, so we usually cook at home or occasionally eat out. Yeah. So that's up in Competa though, which might not be as well connected as if you were getting deliveries on the coast. And we've got here comment on our houses, 25 years houses difference. Ours was built in 1906, wow, Dave Walkden. Yeah, Dave Walkden, according to cadastral details, and has more character in one room than in the entirety of those soulless white boxes. They're awful, but they are springing up everywhere nowadays. Yep, that's true. And the takeaway food for the Norville my experience is not very good. The food is not the same. No idea, but just eat in the restaurants. Yeah. Takeaway food. Do you get it in Spain? And ahí estás de vuelta.
No, que
1 second, guys.
En septiembre está solo abierto por la mañana.
¿Ah, sí?
Sí.
Ah, bueno, pues nada.
Déjamelo
aquí y ya está. No pasa nada.
¿Hago algo más?
Pues ya está. Yo creo que por hoy ya está. Ya he echado otra media horita con otro día. ¿Vale? Pues nada, ¿te quedaste con los 25 euros?
Sí.
Si quieres, déjalo ahí. Be with you in a minute, guys. We're just sorting out some post issues. Déjalo ahí en tu casilla, si quieres. Tu casillero. Ya está. There we go. Where were we? Sorry. Turns out the post office. Bueno, hasta luego. Hasta mañana. Turns out the post office is closed in the afternoon on September. So there we go. If you want a fan, I've got to go and post them in the morning. Check out the link there Stephen Roos put on. It was to another car they were testing up in Sierra Nevada, which comes off the base of one of my shorts. So I don't think Guillermo knew I was doing a live then. Bless him. Good lad, though. Good lad. He's doing well. So, Amazon shopping short. What about golf resorts where it's only a tiny mailbox? Do they actually drive up to your apartment? Good question, Paul. Can anybody answer that question for Pilot Paul, please? And Alan McAfee said, we've had no problem in Torrevieja. Works fine, not quite as good as UK, as don't get a time slot. Maybe you do with Prime, but deliver till 10 p.m. I can tell you with Prime, they never honor the time slots. Not for us anyway. We've got Business Prime. We say you've got to deliver it before 2 o'clock because they close the gates at the bottom. We're still here, but sometimes they can't get in, and it's always a pain. I can tell you that. All right, our next one here. Robbo, how you doing, Robbo? Haven't seen you on the live for a while. How's it going? Need to get your petrol short. Let's get some petrol shorts going. We always compare our prices. Got to say, it's a good service here. The only difference from the UK in regards to how it works is in the UK, it will give you a specific delivery window, say between 2 and 4. Here it doesn't. You have to keep checking the order, and once it's 9 stops away, it comes up and they won't leave it at your door like the UK, which isn't a bad thing. So no complaints from me. Yeah, just the delivery window thing seems to come up. Though I did have an experience today where the driver called me to drop something off, and he pulled up in a really what can only be described as a battered old Citroen and threw it at me out the window, which but it arrived. So that's the main thing, isn't it? The main thing is that it arrived. Stephen, how you doing, Stephen Bolton? It works well in Benomana, but this is helped by an elderly neighbour that acts as an alternative for deliveries. Certainly far better than Correos. I tried to buy local, but where I can't find it or need urgently, Amazon is my go-to. Yep, same here. Zach is saying try and buy local, but if you can't, Amazon. And we've got a neighbouring office which quite often picks up the packages for us if we're out and about or we're not in the office. Lisa says, hey Lisa, I think I saw you on the chat as well. Works okay in Nurka. I don't use my address as in a community complex. I think they might find it hard to find our home, so I get delivered to Amazon lockers. Oh, that's good to know, is Amazon lockers in Nurka. If a big item that it says won't fit in the locker, I have them delivered to my daughter's home, and it's easier for the drivers to find. Oh, that's cool. And a couple more comments to let you know about. Yogi said it works well in London. Thanks for your comment, Yogi. Terrible trouble uploading stuff. Yes, works well for me, says David Frisbee. Not delivered on date given. Delivered on date given. Next day delivery was not available on most items as in the UK, but happy delivery dates given. Location: Murcia, Mazarron, Bolnuevo. I'm looking forward to going to Bolnuevo. It looks really nice. Stu and Joe sent me a lot of nice photos from there, which we've featured on the update, and it looks really nice. I'm looking forward to getting down there. Eddie says, yes, I have city delivered to lockers. Okay, that's good. So they do a lot of lockers. I know they have them here in Alarin. And Mick Parker says, works well here in Campsall. Really pleased with it. Delivery time varies depending on who's delivering, Amazon themselves or a third party. Yeah, it's definitely a third party who delivered my package today. I can tell you that. Okay, well, let's crack on with the chat. See who's on the chat. I've got some comments here. So, my wife's not great. So important to have private medical insurance. The hospital is magnificent and brilliant stuff. We wish you all the best there, Paul. Let us know how you get on. You can always drop me a PM as well. All the best. And private health insurance. Yeah, great. You know, it's good to have it. Let us know how you get on, and we wish you all the best with that. Here we go. It's Chris, Julian, Graham, patiently waiting. They're hitting the 12-week mark now for their visas. I'm going to put you guys a bit of a letter together to send across to the consulate to give them a nudge. So I'll get that across to you tomorrow. But patiently waiting at 12 weeks. Already seen that one. And yeah, we've seen that one as well. Where are we here? Robbo's on. Hey, Robbo, I was just talking about you. There we go. Just had a comment from you there about Amazon. We need to do, I'll go, if I remember today, I'm going to do another one of the petrol ones. I always forget, but I'll go to the petrol station and turn around. I'll go to my house in the petrol station today. So I'll get one there. And hi, Chris. Love the channel. Who's that from? What's your name? Where we go? I haven't got a name on it. Oh, that's strange. Never mind. I wanted to ask a question, if possible. What happened with the driving licenses in Spain? Read DVLA. Do they make an arrangement so no Spanish test is required? Thanks in advance. Great question. So if you are coming to move into Spain, there's sort of like, I like to describe it as 3 levels. So you've got like European exchanges. You've got exchanges from countries with a convenio, which are non-European countries but have an agreement with Spain to exchange. And then you have countries which don't. Well, countries which don't have an agreement, you have to take a test. I'm afraid there's nothing you can do to get a driving license exchanged if your country doesn't have an agreement with Spain. And I'm just going to see if I can bring up the website for you to show the countries that do. If you're a European citizen, then all European countries evidently have basically an automatic exchange. So you can do that through a gestor, or you can do it yourself at Trafico by getting a medical certificate. And if your country is one of the ones that has a convenio, so this includes, in the European side of things, it actually includes the UK, because when they reinstated the right for UK citizens to exchange their license, if you remember, there's this I think nearly 3 years it got to, where it was, we're trying our hardest to come to a deal. We're trying our hardest to come to a deal. We're trying our hardest to come to, and the deal never happened. And finally it happened. We had loads of clients who took their test before and successfully got driving licenses. Well done on that front. There's now a deal, so you can exchange your license, and it's actually done on the European platform, where you don't have to pre-register on the DGT website. You can actually go straight to DGT and exchange it. Now, for countries with an agreement, recently we've had a bit of movement. Here we go. So I'm just going to show you. So you can see the countries which are outside of Europe, which have agreements with Spain to exchange their licenses. That includes Andorra, Argelia, Argentina, Bolivia, Brazil, believe it or not, Chile, Colombia, South Korea, Costa Rica, Ecuador, Philippines, Georgia, Guatemala, didn't know that, Honduras, Japan, Macedonia, North Macedonia, Morocco's, the Maldives, Monaco, Nicaragua. No, I think I said that right. I'm just translating these now. I'm going to say it in Spanish. Nueva Zelanda, New Zealand, Panama, Paraguay, Peru, United Kingdom, Republic of the Dominican Republic, the Republic of the Salvador, which I don't know what that is in English, Serbia, Switzerland, Turkey, Tunisia, Ukraine, and Uruguay. The latest to be added to the list is New Zealand. No, it's not. Maldives is the latest to be added to the list. No, it's not. Honduras, Georgia. They're all 2024. They were. So there's a lot of, as you can see, there is a lot of countries which can now, I'll put the link below actually in the description, exchange their licenses. And you can actually do the whole process online now if you are from one of these countries, or you can do a pre-submission online, then go to Trafico to submit your documents. So there you go. And Robert says, price has gone up here. Diesel now 132, petrol 138. Early in the year it was 121, not far of parity now, where they have been told by the EU to go get the diesel prices. Yeah, I'll check out what it is here. And thanks, Chris, much appreciated. Peter James, yeah, no worries, Peter. I'll put that link below as well, but it's all good in the hood when it comes to the exchanges. Right, so where are we now? We've done YouTube. Food and drink is coming next week. I'm just waiting for the little short intro and all that business. So next we've got our news item. If I had the news item prepared for you, but this is a good one. I did see, talking about news items, I saw a fantastic video by Stuart from Spain Speaks about the Sanchez visit to the UK. I'm not going to get involved too much in the politics side of things because you don't need to, because that's a fantastic channel if you need any sort of political update on YouTube about Spain. I'm sure that Stuart doesn't watch his channel, but I do regularly watch his, have it on in the background because I like his commentating. So let me show you this screen share. If you are in the Malaga region, okay, or coming to Malaga, then you really need to visit the town of Teba. Now, I've been to this. They've got a castle there on the hill. You can see it on the way to Ronda when you're driving on the 357. You cut across the Ronda Road, you're going to see the castle in Teba. And it just looks like another big castle. But when you go, they've got a museum inside, but it's fantastic. I couldn't believe the story that they tell you when you're there. So I didn't know the story basically in the history between Scotland and Andalusia when Sir James Douglas came in the 14th century and he joined the Castilian troops in an attempt to conquer the castle. Right. This was incredible. This whole story, when you go there, I'm not going to tell you too much about it. It talks about Robert the Bruce and how Robert the Bruce had an influence here, which was at the time the Kingdom of Granada. It wasn't Malaga then; it was still the Kingdom of Granada. And when you go there, have a read of this article, which it goes slightly into it, and then Google Teba and its castle and go. I think we just turned up, and I think it cost a couple of euros each to get in. And it really goes on about the battles which happened along the Guadalhorce River is incredible. And there's a lot of there's a history, as you can see there, the sounding of bagpipes to dating back to the relationship that Teba has with Robert the Bruce and James Douglas and Scotland. So read that article, guys. I'm going to put it in the description below. And if you are in Malaga, I would definitely suggest that you go and visit Teba, have something to eat in the town. If you're a runner, they do a fantastic race around the September time down the gorge. It's like a cross-country type thing. It's amazing. And I mean, just the history. You wouldn't believe in the Guadalhorce River 600 or 700 years ago, the battles what happened down there because it was the only source of water. So where everybody could get, the animals could get water, and the camps that were set up. And it's absolutely amazing. Go check it out. Okay, then. And let's move on now to our out and about section, shall we? And we've got some stuff coming up here and out and about. If I can get it to load. There we go. Go back 1 second. Oh, here we go. Out and about. Right. Now let's talk seriously. Oh, let's jump back on the jump back on the chat, shall we? See who's there. What have we got going on? Alexander, hi Chris. TIE question. I understand that to get a TIE, we need a Spanish address, but that to buy or rent a property, we need a TIE. What is the solution? Pollo y huevo situation. Right. So you don't need a TIE to buy or rent a property. To buy a property, you would need an NIE, which is your número de identidad de extranjero. So that is your ID number as a foreigner. You can get that as a non-resident or you'll be given it on your visa, or if you're an EU citizen, on your residency card if you haven't had one before. Okay, so rental, so two things here. To buy, you have to have a fiscal number, not necessarily, which is the NIE, as a resident, but your NIE is represented on your TIE if you had one before or if you were given one on your visa. Okay, so you don't need that to buy. Now, to rent, normally most landlords would request an NIE number to add in the contract. Okay, some will accept a passport number, but most will request an NIE number. And if you haven't had an NIE number before you get your visa, then yes, you would need a TIE card to get your rental contract, because the way your NIE number is going to be reflected is on your TIE card. So first on your visa, then when you come to register the visa, a TIE card. But you could get an NIE number without a TIE. Let's remember the NIE is the número de identidad de extranjero, and the TIE is la tarjeta de identidad de extranjero. That's number of identity for foreigners, and the card, the identity for foreigners, that represents the number. All right, I hope that makes sense. If it didn't, write something in the comments. I'll try and explain it better. Okay then, so Lee, thank you very much for sending this, because this is the main topic of today, and I'm going to read this out to you. And if any of you guys come across anything you think's going to be beneficial for anybody here in Spain, just send it to me, youtube@upsticks.es, and we will read it out. Now, I've just seen that hasn't loaded, so I'm going to put it back on. Table problems loading. So there we go. So Lee sent me this email. I've cut it down just to the main points, and it says, we booked an apartment through Airbnb, made sure it had aircon as it was 30 degrees. Turned up at the apartment and it had no aircon. We contacted Airbnb and they agreed to refund us, so we went on our way as we couldn't get hold of the host. 10 days later, we received a message from Airbnb saying the host was claiming €750 in damages for broken TV, damage caused by a dog, along with use of beds and showers. She also provided photo of broken TV. They hadn't been in the place, by the way. Because we simply turned around and left, we didn't take photos, and this was our downfall. Over the next month, we have had an argument with Airbnb, sided with the host. Have an argument with Airbnb. Sorry, start again. We had to argue as Airbnb sided with the host before we finally threatened them with taking it to small claims court in the UK. It was quite stressful and unrelenting, as you couldn't get any sense out of Airbnb. It's very disjointed, and I think it's like this to make you give up fighting. It's also absorbed hours of our time. When we looked into it more, Airbnb provide the host with insurance, and the grounds for the claim are damage by a pet, damage to an item in the apartment, leaving the apartment unclean, all the things she claimed we'd done. Airbnb said that they had paid the host using this insurance, even though we continually said it was a scam. In short, if you use Airbnb, take loads of photos, or even better, a video walk around, even if you decline to stay in the accommodation upon arrival. So there you go, guys. Thank you very much, Lee, for sending that through and warning us about that. I don't even think, and we're quite partial to having a couple of nights out or going to an Airbnb or something. I never think about taking photos. And it actually happened to me, but I had a better experience in Italy, when I was in Italy earlier on in the year. We're there for 4 days. Beautiful apartment in Pisa, right close to the Leaning Tower Pizza as well. But it was a little bit like Faulty Towers. We went to open the back door, and the sort of handle came off, and I was like, okay. And then the front door, when we closed it, the little metal thing came off. And I didn't really think about documenting it properly until I left, and the guys kept asking me questions. I did send them a message asking them to come and fix stuff. They never turned up. And then when we left, they started asking us questions, and in the end, they were absolutely fine. We didn't have any problems. But it's good to know. Take a photo. This day and age, digital videos and stuff like that, there's no excuse not to, is there? And Alexander says, thank you. I always mix up NI and TI. Yeah, no problem. That's what we're here for. That's what we're here for. In fact, there you go. It's an idea for a short. Don't mix up your NI with your TI. I'll do a short on that. So you give me a brilliant idea. Cheers for that. So yeah, and another scam, which was personally I wanted to talk to you about, was through Airbnb. Now, Airbnb, okay, I've stopped using Airbnb as much as we used to, because apart from when you go on Airbnb, you look at prices and then you go directly onto the property's website, you find that they're a lot cheaper. Excuse me a minute. But I mean considerably cheaper, especially when you're talking about hotels. So always check out directly with the hotels. And I found that the hotels might have been kicking back a little bit at bookings because they've been considerably cheaper. We found one, for example, in Granada, where we went recently, and I have to say it was a good 150 euros cheaper by the time we booked online the hotels platform, which was rubbish. I have to say it was a rubbish hotel platform for booking, but once we went through it, signed up for their newsletter and then just unsubscribed, we got it for a bit cheaper than bookings. But twice now bookings have let me down with their customer service, and the reason being is because I've booked super early for events. So a year ago I booked an apartment because we were going to go to a festival in Torre del Mar, see some music, and the apartment was quite cheap, and I thought, wow, that's good for the time of year, especially considering there's a festival on. And about 2 weeks before, they cancelled the booking. The apartment cancelled the booking on me, so I'm really sorry. Due to circumstances, we've had to cancel the booking. I thought that's a bit off, considering you always got to look on private hosts. They had good ratings and everything like that. So I thought, you know what, I can't find anything on Airbnb because it's a festival weekend now. Oh, sorry, on bookings I can't find anything. So I jumped onto Airbnb, and lo and behold, there's the apartment to be rented out 4 times more expensive. So what's happened is they've actually taken, they've worked out that it is a festival weekend. They hadn't upped their prices, and then they said, we'll sack it off of one platform, put it on a number. I sent that to Airbnb and said, look, to bookings. And I said, this isn't right. Look what's happened here. Well, nothing, no response, didn't care. That was it. Couldn't offer me an alternative. I ended up having to independently find my own alternative on a campsite. Same this year. So anyway, I sat there talking about with my dad, actually talking about the Madrid Grand Prix next year. And I said, that would be cool to go and see street race in Madrid. Yeah, should we check out the price of apartments now? So checked out that this was this summer, checked out the prices of the apartment, found one in Madrid, a few €100 for that weekend, which I thought, wow, that's actually a really good deal. We'll get that booked. It was pay later as well. So no, the apartment refunded me the money. This was a book now, pay later job. And exactly the same. They cancelled last week on me. This is a year before the race. It doesn't happen until September and of 2026. And they cancelled it, go on to another platform. Lo and behold, there's the apartment, but 3 times more expensive. So there you go. How are they getting away with that? I don't know, but never mind. There you go. Did you all like that little grumble there? Yeah, that was a good grumble, wasn't it? Okay, then what else have we got going on for you? Well, charity. So we had last week G&T's charity walk, guys. If you're watching this, don't forget to send me photos, tell me more dates about it. If you want to know all about that and how to support the dogs, go to last week's update. But this week we are supporting a children's cancer charity, and our fantastic clients here have got the 3 days copper event. So I'm just going to read this out for you now. So it's Wesley and Penny who are supporting this and got me involved as well. I think I've got it here so you can read it yourselves, or if you put it on playback you can press pause and read it. And I've just copied this from what Penny sent me, and basically they're organizing a golf tournament, and it's called the Copa Tres Dias, and it's it'd help if I told you actually where it was, wouldn't it? Look in the link below after the video to find out where it was. And the Copa Tres Dias is the brainchild of John Pemberton, Darren Wistow and Ian Fleming, who we know, one of our clients, who over a few beers in a bar whilst watching England the 16s play Germany under 16s at the Pinata Arena, dreamed of a Ryder Cup style competition. With their vision, this quickly became one of the most exciting highlights of golfing calendar at El Valle Golf Course in Murcia. So this is happening at the end of September. What began as a fun competition has over the past 2 years grown into something truly bigger, special and bigger, more supported and more anticipated with every edition. This year we've raised the organizational challenge with an incredible 100 golfers competing each day. The stage is set for a thrilling battle between the green locals team captained by Wes Sheldon and the blue Visitantes captained by Robin Kirtland. Over the course of 54 holes in 3 days, blimey, the competition unfolds. The first 2 days feature randomly drawn teams games before the pressure intensifies on day 3 when the captains handpick their pairings for fiercely competitive singles matches. At stake is the coveted Copa de Tres Dias trophy, and of course the priceless bragging rights that last for the next 12 months. The celebration doesn't end on the course. The event accumulates with the gala dinner on Saturday evening, the fabulous food provided by Sandala Restaurant, thanks to the generous sponsorship of Ian and Gillian of Selling Sunset Spain. The Selling Sunset Spain, that's a company who are sponsoring the gala. The evening also features an auction alongside a tombola table bursting with prizes donated by players and local businesses. And they're going to send some images across for us. So this is the Copa Tres Dias, which is the end of September. I believe it is on the weekend of the 20th, I believe, but we'll confirm that. This is the logo. And there we go. And if you'd like to know if you are in the area of El Valle Golf Course in Murcia and you'd like to donate a prize or let us know how to get involved, if you'd like to be involved in that, then just drop me an email to youtube@upsticks.es and I will pass it on to Penny and she will let you know. And Upsticks, we've chucked in one of our vouchers, so check this out, which gives for the raffle, which is a €100 gift voucher for our NLV service. So we're going to take that off of anybody who's looking to move to Spain and wants to come and contract us to help them. They're going to get a gift voucher against our service fees, and we've chucked a couple of those into the raffle. Not the raffle, the whatever they call when you subasta, they call it in Spanish. So there you go. Well done, guys. It's always good to promote charity, and I'm going to put some more information in the link below. And as soon as I get some more photos, I'll do an article on our website for you. And we've still got 27 people on. Not bad for our first Wednesday. And last couple of things I wanted to show you here. First of all, I did a podcast with Antonio, our gestor, about non-residence tax. That's coming out on Saturday. Haven't got the thumbnail or anything. It's been a bit of a busy week, but I will get it out on Saturday for you. But as I left his co-working space stroke office in Fingerola, which is one of his offices, he's got another one up in Granada. Check this out that I saw in the corner. An old Renault 4, Malaga plates on it. I thought, oh, that's been abandoned. But then I noticed the sticker in the top left-hand corner, and it's got an ITV, a current ITV in it. And so I was quite cheekily asked someone who was in the vicinity, do you know who's that car? And they went, oh yeah, I think it was, I can't remember his name now. It was something like Gonzalo, something, G. And I said, okay, more interestingly, is it abandoned? Or they? Oh, she was like, oh no, they're using that as a daily. He's always had it. He's had it forever. So there's a classic car, which has became a classic car because Gonzalo, whatever his name, who owned it, just been using it on a daily basis ever since he had it. I mean, look at the state of the back. Renault 4. And it turns out he's just using it on a daily basis and owned an apartment there for forever and forever. And it keeps getting through its ITV test. So there you go. Not a classic car, but a daily drive. And the last thing I have to show you today is, for those of you who live here, this will be a common thing for you, knowing about the times to go to restaurants, midday. especially at the weekend. But for those of you who are moving over, you might think it's quite strange. I always laugh because sometimes when I go to the UK, people have lunch at 12 and have tea at 5 o'clock. Well, tea at 5 o'clock is a bit like lunch for us here. But yeah, so it's always for me, it's very, very early. Everything seems early when you're eating, when I go back to the UK. Whereas here, you know, lunch at a weekend, 2:30, 3 o'clock, that's when people start rocking up to the restaurants. So what we generally tend to do as a family, because you don't want to get involved in all of that sort of craziness, do you? And especially at the weekend when it's your downtime, we'll generally book quite early and go at 1 o'clock, 1:15, which I think is quite a reasonable time to eat. And it also means that you can be done and dusted by 3 o'clock and get on your way, where a lot of locals and Spanish, they'll start eating at 2:33. And quite often when you're driving at the weekend past lunchtime restaurants at 5, 6 o'clock, there'll be people outside just leaving, smoking, maybe having their cubata, their short drink, their little whiskey or whatever after the meal. And but we got 1 o'clock. I just wanted to show our local restaurant, which is called Los Cañitos. It's a typical venta. It is the same as it was 30 years ago. And the food's absolutely amazing. They literally just have the char grilled barbecue that they had there years ago, and in the kitchen out the back doing all the fried stuff and whatever it does. This was the car park at 1 o'clock. Check this out. So there you go. No problems with our booking because it was 1 o'clock. Second cars in the car park, so it was a little bit cloudy last Sunday, and but I wanted to get back for 3 anyway to watch the Grand Prix. So we'll go at 1, we'll have a nice early dinner and we'll leave. Hardly anybody there compared to when we left. Check this out, at around 2:45. Around 2:45. There you go, absolutely chock-a-block. So, and I wouldn't really want it to be in that sort of mosh pit of trying to order food at that time. So, you know, 1 o'clock, if you want to get the atmosphere, go at 2:30 and don't worry how long it takes them to get your food. But if you fancy a nice relaxed meal and still getting a bit of atmosphere, but get out while the going's good, then I suggest you go about 1:15, because you can see at 3 o'clock, the car park was absolutely packed. But we had this was the mixed grill that they do. And I can tell you that it's a fantastic venta Los Cañitos. If you're ever in this area, definitely visit it. So there's a huge mixed grill. That's supposed to be for 2 people, but I can tell you 2 people and 2 kids of 11 and 9 years old, that will feed all of you. So we just had the house salad, which was €8, and that for €35. And that literally fed all of us. No need for starters. So there you go. Mixed grill at Los Cañitos. And they do it properly. That's not done that's done over a barbecue. The guy there, Rincón de Paco, where Paco is. But it's now Rincón de Hijo de Paco, because it's Paco's son who does all the cooking now. And Paco is a fantastic guy who wears the typical check shirts, open down to about here. There you go. Long black trousers. Doesn't matter what time of year it is. It can be 45 degrees. Always long black trousers. Some of those dodgy shoes. And I'm pretty sure owning the restaurant, he can afford maybe an Armani suit. But he turns up like he probably has done for the last 50 years. Sorts out the tables, does his job. And, oh, here we go. Now, Ricky's saying, literally just received the text from DXCO saying passports arriving tomorrow. Can't wait to get to our home, Ricky and Karen. Ooh, what a way to end our live today. Guys, 29 people on. Happy with that. We're nearly at, I didn't do the stats today, but we're nearly at 5,000 subs. And we got 475,000 views yesterday on the Video IQ thing, whatever. So we'll celebrate that at 500,000. If you've got any friends or family, just tell them to subscribe. Let's get to that 5,000. Look out for some out and about videos coming once I've learned how to use the camera. Be more videos of me just waffling on out and about anything that I think is interesting about Spain. And yeah, thanks for tuning in. Ricky, I'm going to leave that up because I'm so happy at that. That's why we do our job. We have up here to remind us when things are getting stressful. Jane wrote up here, there aren't many jobs in the world where you can make people's dreams come true. This is one of them. It is true. And when the going gets tough, all you're going to do is look at that and celebrate the small wins. This year is all about celebrating every single visa that comes in. So, and I did just say one comment that I missed. Hi, Chris. Could good ambulance send? No, it can't. No, tried. They won't do it. They won't send to a PO box because post offices will not sign for couriers. So there you go. And Kev's just popped in. Just popped into relaxed after a relaxed afternoon in Puerto with tapas followed by coffee and ice cream in El Faro. What a view. Get us some photos, Kev. Get us some photos so we can see a photo of that view and we'll put it on. And PR, cheers, Chris. My first live. Thanks for tuning in. All right, then, guys, that's it for today. I am going to go off. It's now my time to go and pick up my daughter from gymnastics. And back tomorrow, back next week at 6 o'clock. So Wednesday's now at 6 o'clock. Happy to have 30 people on. That's amazing. You've adjusted to the Wednesday as well. Don't forget, on Saturday, we will be having our podcast with Antonio Lizano about non-residence tax, Modelo 210. And on the 20th at 10 o'clock in the morning will be my last live show on a Saturday with Scats because we are moving to Monday evenings as well. So keeping it all during the week. Hopefully we'll get more views on the shows. Thanks for tuning in, guys. And